CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie marks a busy 6 months in office. He is joining me live in studio to talk about what's changed and what's next for the city. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday. We have Mayor Lurie standing by. We're going to be talking about crime and homelessness and the city's relationship with the feds. But first, want to get you caught up on a couple of today's news headlines. A veteran San Jose police officer has been arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting a minor. It allegedly happened 13 years ago when Officer Saul Duran worked as a facilitator in SJPD's Parent Project Initiative. That's a program designed to provide parental guidance for families. During that time, he allegedly assaulted a girl in the program who was 14 at the time. He is charged with 5 counts of lewd and lascivious acts with the child. Authorities say that he also targeted the victim's sister, but is not facing charges at this time.
Having a police officer as a suspect in a case like this only amplifies the relentlessness of our investigators and of this investigation. Our actions today will hopefully show that there is no protection for any officer who is alleged to have committed such a serious crime or who has caused harm.
Duran has worked with the SJPD since 2003, but has been placed on administrative leave. He's been released from custody on a $250,000 bond. He is set to be arraigned on August 7th. The man charged with killing his 18-year-old ex-girlfriend in Morgan Hill, going to be making his first court appearance this afternoon in San Jose. 21-year-old Martin Mendoza was arrested in Imperial County on Sunday while trying to re-enter the U.S. from Mexico. He is charged in the death of Marissa DiNapoli, whose body was found last week near Anderson Lake. The two of them seen together the day before she was reported missing. All right, let's turn to our first alert weather now. Mostly mild, but a little bit of a warm-up on the way. Meteorologist Zoe Mintz joins us with a look. Baby warm-up?
A little bit of a warm-up. Yeah, I mean, we'll take it along the coast near 70 degrees here in San Francisco.
Okay.
So it's a little bit above average. And then our inland areas, that's where really the heat up is going to be, where we're going to be seeing near triple-digit high temperatures by as soon as Thursday, that's the hot day this upcoming week, as a lot of the fog that we've been seeing over the past several days has quickly peeled back. And look at how much sunshine there is all across the bay. It's really nice out there. Temperatures along our coastal communities, again, sitting in the mid to lower 60s. It's a degree or two above what we were feeling yesterday, while our inland areas sitting in the mid to lower 80s. That's a degree or two below what we were feeling yesterday. But again, everybody is going to continue to see a heat up on the way. So if you want to maybe go to the Giants game tonight, I don't blame you. It's going to be a lovely one out there. We're going to be seeing our high temperatures sitting in the mid 60s, plenty of sunshine, maybe getting down to the upper 50s by the end of the game, but not nearly as much fog as we normally have been seeing. But just in general, I want to let you all know we've actually been warming about 2.5 degrees warmer this year compared to what we saw in the 1970s, where Oracle Park would have been. I know it technically wasn't there in the 1970s, but with warmer weather actually comes more home runs. Yeah, warmer weather actually creates less dense air. It allows the baseball to fly through the air more readily with less drag. So yeah, you can expect more home runs as the years to come as warmer weather happens. So maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, the Giants get one of those home runs tonight. And I'll let you know when warmer weather will arrive to us in the Bay Area this week, coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Zoe. Now to the devastating floods in Texas that have killed 108 people. That number is expected to rise, including about a dozen girls from Camp Mystic, right now still missing. Rescue teams are using drones equipped with thermal sensors trying to spot any survivors. Among the missing is a family from Marin County. They were in Texas for a family vacation and went missing along the Guadalupe River. Their hometown of Kentfield now praying for a miracle. Marin Catholic High School holding a prayer service at 6 this evening in the St. Francis Chapel. Our Veronica Macias reports from the campus.
The Walker's teenage daughter was enjoying days at a summer camp. Elle is reported to be safe this morning. However, parents Mark and Sarah and her brother Johnny, they remain missing. Johnny, just 14 years old, was set to be a freshman this upcoming year at Marin Catholic High School. It's a heartbreaking loss for so many in Marin County. It seems like in some way or another, everyone knew the Walker family. They were very involved in youth sports. Mark's brother, actually a former Giants pitcher Tyler Walker. Mark himself, a baseball coach for the Ross Valley Little League. The organization telling CBS News Bay Area it is focusing on supporting its community and the Walker family privately. The league organized a prayer vigil for the family Sunday night where hundreds of people attended. As the community holds out hope, some people have started leaving flowers outside of the Walker family home. People telling us they were just the nicest family.
Kind people, nice people, sweet people, friendly, so friendly. Say hi to everyone, you know. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? I don't know how can I accept Sarah is not here with us. I pray every night for them to find them, or find the body, or find something.
Marin Catholic High School has declined to comment at the request of the Walker family. That vigil being held here at 6 p.m.
And you can help the victims of the devastating floods in Texas by scanning the QR code there on your screen. That'll take you to a list of organizations helping out. Well, today marks 6 months since a big change in leadership at San Francisco City Hall. Mayor Daniel Lurie took the oath of office back in January, and a lot has happened in that time. He was a political newcomer in a city with some major challenges and high hopes for the future. Mayor Lurie is here in studio. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about one of the city's most visible problems, of course, homelessness. Mayors over the decades have tried to make a dent in the problem. I know one of your campaign promises was to have 1,500 shelter beds open within your first 6 months. That didn't happen. What changed?
I believe in progress over politics. We got into the weeds on this issue. We have 25,000 beds right now online, and we haven't seen an improvement on the streets. So we are focused on standing up the right kind of beds. I just passed somebody struggling with addiction on the street on the way over here, and that person doesn't just need a bed. That person needs wraparound services, treatment beds. So we are focused on the right kind of beds, not just standing up any old bed. So we are making progress. We have a better approach out on the streets with neighborhood outreach teams. Instead of having 9 different departments sending out their own teams, we now have one unified system. And
so it sounds to me that this is something you sort of learned on the job. Like you had a certain view of the homeless problem, and of course it's the intersection of mental illness and drug addiction.
I think fentanyl really changed the game about 5 or 6 years ago. We as a city haven't changed with it. We are doing that right now. We got to coordinate better. We have to have our department heads talking to each other, which we are doing for the first time in a very long time in this city. I just came from a Tuesday 9 a.m. morning meeting that happens every week where all the major department heads are talking to each other, sharing best practices and asking for help from each other. So we're having a new approach. Can only happen when you're in the gig.
Yeah, and again, you've spent a lot of time walking the streets. How has that really informed your policy?
Well, we're seeing, I always say you can't solve what you can't see. And what I am seeing on the streets is real hardcore addiction and mental health issues, which is why we need more places like 822 Gary Street. It's a stabilization center where law enforcement or Department of Public Health or our neighborhood outreach teams can take somebody into that place. They get 24 hours to get assessed and placed in the right place, instead of taking them to SF General and waiting for up to 72 hours and then just being released back to the street. So we're focused on outcomes, not politics, and so we pivoted on our direction.
Let's talk a little bit about public safety, obviously another huge topic. You had some very high-profile raids recently in some of the areas known for open-air drug use and dealing. What was the result of that? Did that help?
Well, in a couple of the parks that you're mentioning, those parks have now been reclaimed for the neighborhood. We are sending a message that we're not going to tolerate people dealing drugs or doing drugs or sleeping on our streets anymore in San Francisco.
Of course, the question is, is that a whack-a-mole situation where they're just moving somewhere else?
Well, it's funny. People always say, well, if they move somewhere else, has it improved? Well, it's improved for that neighborhood, and we're going to be relentless in going after those that are dealing drugs, those that are killing 2 people a day on our streets. And so I'm not going to accept the status quo. I'm going to go hard at those that are killing people in San Francisco. And so we've seen results. We still have a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. Like, we have made progress. We're focused on 16th and Mission. We're seeing a little bit of progress there. But we have a long way to go. I'm clear-eyed about the challenges, but you're going to have a mayor that's going to be relentless for the next 3.5 years on this topic.
Okay. I mean, I know you're saying that you just saw somebody having a mental health crisis on the street. We all see this, and the tourists see this, and I see their eyes get real wide. Yeah. What would you say to people who still feel unsafe on the streets?
I would say the vibe shift is real in San Francisco. Union Square, crime is down 45% today over last year. We have a hospitality zone task force focused on protecting our tourists, our convention goers, and our downtown businesses and those retailers. We are starting to see that vibe shift in what people are saying about us nationally and internationally. We were just named the culinary capital of the country. Our airport was just named one of the best airports in the world. We have Moscone bookings are up 50%, hotel bookings are up 60% year over year. The data proves that we are a city on the rise, and I'm optimistic about our future.
All right, talking about our place in the world, let's talk about the relationship with the feds right now. A difficult situation. We've seen what's going on in LA. Where do we stand as a sanctuary city? Why haven't we seen large-scale ICE raids like we've seen in other places?
Well, I can't speak to why that, but I will lean into our policies. They have kept us safe. They have for decades. Crime is down 27%. We had an extraordinarily difficult budget deficit this year, and yet we maintained funding for immigrant defense support. We're in touch with the Rapid Response Network. We want all of our immigrants to know their rights. Our city attorney, David Chu, has done a good job in court, making sure that we protect San Francisco values and our policies, and we're winning. And so I would say to anyone in the immigrant community, in the LGBTQ plus community, they have an ally in me and my administration. And our local law enforcement has done their job. They are keeping people safe. We want immigrants to call our local law enforcement, and our sanctuary policy prevents us from asking about immigration status.
And of course, that is going to make us a target for the Trump administration. Do you have any concern? Do you have a relationship with President Trump?
No, I don't.
Have you ever spoken with him?
I've never spoken with him. But here's what I would say. I want our law enforcement, our local law enforcement, to focus on keeping San Franciscans safe. And they're doing that. All the crime stats show that this is a safe American city. We protect our immigrants here. We protect our LGBTQ plus community. And we always have, and we always will.
And what about the potential budget cuts we could see from the feds because of our policies?
Well, we just saw this bill passed in Congress. We're assessing that as we speak. A lot of it doesn't come into play until 2027. It was a topic of discussion at our weekly all-hands meeting this morning. We're going to prepare to make sure that we keep people being able to access food and Medi-Cal. So there's a lot that we have to study in this bill, but we have some time. But we have also set aside a reserve fund to protect against any cuts that may come our way.
Okay, because they could be significant, but I guess we'll see what happens. Nobody knows.
We can only control what we can control, and we're focused on delivering for the people of San Francisco.
All right, San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie, it's been quite a 6 months. Few 6 months. We'll see what happens during the next 6.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time today. All right, still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. Big security change for travelers at some U.S. airports. The Golden State Valkyries took on the Atlanta Dream last night. Well, the game did not end with the outcome we had hoped for. The Valkyries losing 90-81, and they're hoping to bounce back tomorrow against the Indiana Fever. You can watch that game on KPIX. Coverage starts at 8:30 a.m. Right now. Taking a check on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is down about 140 points after a bit of a rough day yesterday. Investors reacting to the latest tariff news. President Trump posting that there will be no extensions granted to the August 1st start date for many countries. Big news for travelers. Soon you're going to be able to leave your shoes on during pre-flight security checks. Sources telling CBS News the shoe rule is expiring. The Transportation Security Administration appears to be phasing in the change. It will be dropped first at major airports, including Philadelphia and Portland. Our photojournalist Trevor spoke with passengers at the security checkpoint at SFO this morning.
I think it's great, especially when I have my flip-flops on. My feet don't have to touch the floor.
I'm okay with leaving shoes on. I think it'll speed up things a little bit.
I think it's great to speed things up.
If they ask me to take my shoes off, I take my shoes off. No problem with that.
Oh, we have reached out to all the major Bay Area airports to find out if the new policy is in effect here. Still waiting to officially hear back. Back to our first alert weather now. Our wind's calming down a little bit, and we're looking toward that baby warm-up we've been talking about. Meteorologist Zoe Mintz has more on that.
Very excited for it. If you're traveling, no travel issues. Whether or not you have to take those shoes off, you should be good to go when it comes to at least the weather. You know, other things you can't control. But either way, it's quiet, it is clear, it is sunny out there, and plenty of sunshine for us here in San Francisco. A significant amount more than yesterday. That fog has lifted for most of the Bay Area. The southern half of the Bay, at least, is looking at sunshine even along our coastal communities. Temperatures right now sitting in the 60s or 70s, kind of just depending on where you're located. And we're going to continue to warm up this afternoon as, again, we are not looking at nearly as much of that fog or that cloud coverage. I showed you this earlier. That fog quickly peeled back early this morning, but there is still a good amount of it that's sitting across our North Bay. So you were heading on if you were planning on heading to a North Bay beach, you might want to head to a South Bay beach where you are going to be seeing more sunshine right now. But either way, temperatures are a couple of degrees warmer than yesterday across our coastal communities, sitting in the mid to lower 60s, while the inland areas sitting in the mid 80s. About a 20-degree temperature spread across the Bay Area today. By tomorrow, though, you'll actually be noticing kind of a change in the weather pattern, because inland areas, you'll be warming by about 5 to nearly 10 degrees. You'll be in the low 90s tomorrow, while our coastal communities are going to be in the low 60s to maybe near 60 degrees, a couple of degrees cooler along the coast. So kind of going to be that ping-ponging back and forth over this next several days. But it's Thursday that all eyes are going to be on when it comes to the warm-up on the way. So honestly, if you live inland, enjoy the comfortable heat today, because 80 degrees out there in Concord, it's 8 degrees below average, but it is definitely going to be a nice day to spend outdoors. Winds gusting anywhere from 20 to 30 miles an hour, calming down just a bit into tomorrow as those temperatures begin to warm up. So look at the next 10 days. We are expecting a big heat up Thursday, and it's going to stay pretty warm throughout the weekend ahead of us, at least for the inlandmost parts of the Bay Area, where we are expecting those 90s to stick around at least through early next week. Keep that in mind, and if you don't like the heat, I would highly suggest heading on over to the coast, where some beautiful beach weather is on the way later this week. Back to you.
Thanks, Zoe. Summer concerts are coming all around the Bay Area. Coming up, what that means for one popular park. I'll take a live look at Levi's Stadium, where the Bay is getting ready for night one of the weekend's highly anticipated shows in Santa Clara. The summer concert season is going to bring a wave of closures to San Francisco's Golden Gate Park starting July 23rd. The Polo Field and surrounding areas will close to prepare for events like the Dead & Company shows, Outside Lands, and a big concert by Kings of Leon. Portions of JFK Drive will also close at the end of the month. Those closures are going to last through August 20th. Coming up, how to own a piece of baseball history. Items from the Say Hey Kid himself, Willie Mays. Now we're talking Bay Area baseball royalty. How would you like to own Willie Mays' World Series ring or one of his MVP awards? Now's your chance. The Say Hey Kids memorabilia is going up for auction. All the proceeds from the auction will go to the Say Hey Willie Mays Foundation. Some of the items are expected to sell for up to $1 million. The auction is set for the last weekend in September. Of the hundreds of items for sale, some will only be available in an online-only auction. They're saying some of these up to $1 million. I think some of those will be well over $1 million, but we'll see. That is it for the afternoon edition. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just go to live and then choose Bay Area. Meantime, have a great Tuesday.